Are you looking for training in Modals? We are Ms. Cloner and we made a tutorial for you. Completely free, with source code and everything. We will give you an app source code you can play around with to get started learning Modals. We use a source code which is a web shop. We give you the source code and the installation instructions. Just download and follow the instructions. In the app you will find there are about 10 Modals, lots of example code to be inspired by. Great, let's have a look at the app when it is up and running. On the screen you see a basic web shop. There is a list of products, and you can click them and add them to your basket. When you are done shopping, you can check out. To be able to check out you will need to sign up. Simple enough. We have a number of functions where we need modals. A modal is a form on top of other forms. You use them to get a better UX experience. Without modals you would get more web pages and more complex UX. So, to have less web pages and a smooth UX we need to use modals. In our app we use modals for the sign up, sign in, edit account, edit profile, edit email, edit password, forgot password, full text search, and the notification form, and more. Pretty straightforward. So, let's move on to the source code. In the app.js file we add all modals to the app. We use global variables to show and to hide a specific modal. We use a portal to make sure the modal is on top of everything else. We also use the index to make sure the modal is on top of everything. To make sure. When you use a portal you make a specific render statement, create portal. And you add an extra element to your index.html file. You find that index file in the public folder. We use a useEffect hook to trigger when the modal changes visibility status, and we initialize the form and prepare it before the user sees it. All of the modals work according to the same principle. When you have designed one, you can easily design the rest of them. To make global persistent variables we use the UseContext hook, local storage, useEffect hooks, and useState hooks. You will find all that in the context provider file. Just copy the pattern used in our source code. We have dedicated training material on React State Management where we show you how this technology works. Basically when using UseContext, you don't need to use Redux. It's instead of. And it's much easier to use UseContext. There are no extra modules needed to make modals. It's all built into React. Just download the source code. You will find the link in the description below. With the source code you will find a PDF with installation instructions. This is how you get it all up and running, with step-by-step instructions. You will learn a lot of programming with this source code. There are other tutorials using the same web shop source code. In this app alone we cover something like 15 to 20 different technologies. Including modals, UseContext hook, Firebase, Firestore, authentication, full text search, styled components, CSS, and much more. So, don't be afraid of playing around with the code, you will learn a lot. Also hit the subscribe button and you will not miss out on the upcoming tutorials. Okay, let's move on. We will show you a number of modals in action. Edit profile. Here we let the user change his or her first name and last name. When they hit enter, we update the Firestore database with their edit to make the change persistent. We have the edit account. Here the user can update their email and password. Clicking edit email opens up an additional modal where the user needs to enter the email twice. It's easy to just show and hide levels of modals this way. We just use the global variables. To update the email in Firebase we need to use the authentication API. A call to that is being made when the user hits the final update button. Let's sign out. If the user has forgotten his or her password, we have a forgot password modal. Sending such an email is done by the Firebase authentication API, so after the user enters their email and hits enter, we make a call to that API and the user will get an email. If you feel you want to know more about Firebase, Firestore, Firebase authentication, we have separate tutorials on those technologies. In those tutorials we also use this same source code. All to make it easier for you. Now you have seen the modals in action. Is there more you need to know? Please tell us in the comments below. Thank you for listening. We recommend you now download the source code and get it up and running. Just follow the installation instructions, the PDF, it comes with the source code. Also hit the subscribe button. We are launching more tutorials on other technologies used in this app, such as Firestore, UseContext, full text search, style components, and much more.